Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Bahashem Makakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, that rule well, and shalom to you, Akim, that you pushing this word around the globe with faith and truth and in sincerity. As always, I'd like to start by saying we are the real Hebrew Israelites. The real Israelites, he said, called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly. But you are going to get Israelites that do look like the other nations because Israel has been scattered amongst all nations throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you may look like, because the book of Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So I sent an article from one of the brothers today from this website called Zero Hedge, and I thought I'd just do a short video on it. It says, German geneticist says people who refuse COVID vaccine should be denied medical treatment. Now this is published today on Wednesday, the 23rd of December. So this is a German scientist says that people who refuse to take the COVID-19 jab should be denied emergency medical treatment. Wolfram Henn, a member of Germany's Ethics Council, told Bild newspaper that vaccine refuseniks should not be able to access ventilators and other emergency measures. Whoever wants to refuse the vaccination outright, he should please also carry a document with the inscription, "I don't want to be vaccinated," said Henn. "I want to leave the protection against this disease to others. I want, if I get sick, to leave my intensive care bed and ventilators to others," he added. Henn said that the efficacy of vaccines has been proven 1 billion times over, and that people should leave it to the experts rather than listening to those who oppose vaccinations. "I urgently recommend that those alarmists go to the nearest hospital and present their conspiracy theories to the doctors and nurses who have just come from the overcrowded intensive care unit completely exhausted," said Henn. Germany, which has seen numerous large protests against lockdown measures, will remain under lockdown until at least January the 10th. As we've previously highlighted, drinking alcohol in public has also been banned, leading to Christmas mulled wine stands being targeted for shutdown by authorities. And that's basically the gist of the article. Now, the reason why I wanted to do a lesson on this is because we're going to be entering the time of tribulation. You know, we're basically at the door of Revelation 12 and 12. Let me get that just quickly. Where are we? Revelation. So we're currently entering into Revelation 12 and 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time." Jumping into Revelation 13, because this is what it's all leading up to. It says, Revelation 13:15. "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, I'm going to jump into 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, because we're going to be tested. And the reason why we're going to be tested is outlined in 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, because this is all the trial of our faith. So times are going to get hard. Esau's going to make it as difficult as possible to live any kind of life outside of his beast system. So when you refuse to comply with, mandatory jabs or, what's later going to come down the line, which is the implantable RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, Esau's going to make your life as difficult as possible. But it doesn't matter, because even though life will be difficult, we have to remain steadfast and single-minded and focused on the kingdom, the kingdom of Yahawashi. We can't give in to the pressure that's going to be coming at us from all angles. Now, Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, is a good chapter to read, to be reminded of what it is exactly that you're a part of or involved in being in this truth. So I'm going to read it. It says, 2 Ezra 7:1, it says, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me an angel, which had been sent unto me the nights before. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come unto the broad? There is also another thing. The city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go. And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city were now given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?" Now that's a metaphor for the kingdom of heaven, for us to enter into the everlasting rest and joy that will come of being in the kingdom of heaven, where the Israelites are going to rule the earth in righteousness. We need to go through the difficulty first. So that's the time we're in now, a time of great difficulty, time of Jacob's trouble and great tribulation. So I'm going to read that again. 2 Ezra 7:9. "If this city were now given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, It is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion. Because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrance of the elder world were wide and sure. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labour not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. Now therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? And why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, meaning difficult things, and hope for the wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. And he said unto me, There is no judge above the Most High, and none that have understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. For the Most High have given them straight commandments such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him, and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways. But his law they have despised and denied his covenants. In his statutes they have not been faithful, and have not performed his works. And therefore, Ezra's, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, that now is withdrawn from the earth. And whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evil shall see my wonders. And that's what we've got to keep focused 100% on. 2 Ezra 7 and 27. And whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evil shall see my wonders. For my son Yahawashi shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. After these years shall my son Hamashiach die, and all men that have life. And the world shall be turned into the old silence 7 days period of time, like as the former judgment, so that no man shall remain. And after 7 days the world that yet awaketh not shall be raised up, and that shall die that is corrupt. And the earth shall restore those that are asleep in her, and so shall the dust those that dwell in silence, and the secret places shall deliver those souls that were committed unto them. And the Most High shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away, and the long suffering shall have an end. But judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong. So that's what we're coming into, man. We're coming into a time when only judgment shall remain, and truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong. And the work shall follow, and the reward shall be shewed, and the good deeds shall be of force, and the wicked deeds shall bear no rule. There we go. Yeah. Should I continue on? Yeah, I'm going to continue on, because there's some good stuff here. 2 Ezra 7 and 36. Then said I, Abraham prayed first for the Sodomites, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness, and Yahawashi after him for Israel in the time of Achan, and Samuel and David for the destruction, and Solomon for them that could come to the sanctuary, and Helias for those that received rain, for the dead that he might live, and Ezekiel for the people in the time of Sennacherib, and for many for many. Even so now, seeing corruption is grown up, and wickedness is increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so now also? And he answered me, and said, This present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. Intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor oppress him that have gotten the victory. That's beautiful, man. Because Esau's coming down, as I said, Revelation 12 and 12. And 2 Ezra 7 and 45 is a very comforting scripture, because it says, There shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor oppress him that have gotten the victory. So when we get this victory over this beast system, nobody's going to ever be able to oppress us again as Israelites. All you other heathen nations are going into slavery head first. So 2 Ezra 7 and 46. I answered then and said, This is my first and last saying, that it hath been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else, when it was given to him, to have restrained him from sinning. For what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death look for punishment? O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was not thou that sinned, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee, Salakia. But we all that come of thee. 2 Ezra 7:49. For what profit is it unto us, if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death? And that there is promised us an everlasting hope, wherein ourselves being made wicked are made vain? And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly, and that the glory of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all, and that there should be showed a paradise whose fruit endureth forever, wherein is security and medicine, since we shall not enter into it. For we have walked in unpleasant places, and the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle. Beautiful words, man. 2 Ezra 7:57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live. Nevertheless they believed not him, nor yet the prophets after him, no, nor me which have spoken unto them, that there should not be such heaviness in their destruction as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. I answered then and said, I know, Lord, that the Most High is called merciful, in that he hath mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world, and upon those also that turn to his law, and that he is patient and long suffereth those that have sinned as his creatures, and that he is bountiful, for he is ready to give where it needeth, and that he is of great mercy, for he multiplieth more and more mercies to them that are present and that are past, and also to them which are to come. For if he shall not multiply his mercies, the world would not continue with them that inherit therein. And he pardoned for it, if he did not so of his goodness, that they which have committed iniquities might be eased of them, the 10,000th part of men should not remain living. And being judge, if he should not forgive them that are cured out of this world, and put out the multitude of contentions, there should be very few left, peradventure an innumerable multitude. And 2 Ezra 8:1 says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra's, as when thou askest the earth, it should say unto thee, that it giveth much more thereof, whereof earthen vessels are made, but a little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. So that's where I'm going to end this lesson. This is the conditions of the battle, and the battle's only going to intensify. It's intensifying right now, man, because Esau's making it more and more difficult to function in this world without giving into this beast system. But we have to continue to fight until the bitter end, and it's going to be a bitter end for America. It's going to go out with thermonuclear destruction. But if we be of the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we're going to see an everlasting salvation, So that's what we're fighting for the return of our Lord Yahawashi, which is a so-called black man, according to the Bible, Revelation 1:13 on down. So-called black man is coming back to save his people, the Israelites, and is going to destroy this kingdom and set up an everlasting kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness. So that's what we're fighting for. So giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone that rule well. And shalom to all you fellow Akim that we push this word around the globe in faith and truth and in sincerity. Until the next lesson, Lord willing, I'll say shalom.